They're staring, mouths wide open. They whisper, they scheme, yet every plan crumbles before you. Your silence speaks louder than their screams, a quiet storm they can't comprehend. They thought you'd crumble, thought you'd collapse, but every attack only bounced back harder, sharper, colder. They wonder, who shields you? Who guards you? But the walls you've built are unbreakable, and now their fear is thicker than their lies, a taste they can't swallow. So tell me, are you ready? Because the questions won't stop, the whispers won't die. They're shocked, obsessed, desperate for answers, yet you won't hand them what they crave. You'll let them drown in confusion, in their own rage, because the truth you carry is darker than they can bear. Their obsession fuels itself, but you remain untouchable, a force they can't even begin to understand. Protection isn't quiet, it's loud. It echoes in silence, like thunder hiding inside a whisper. People don't understand it. They don't know why the blows never reach you, why the traps collapse before you step in, why their carefully woven webs fall apart just as your foot hovers near the edge. They stare, they whisper, they ask questions they're too afraid to say out loud. How? Why? Who stands behind you? Oh, the irony. They thought you were easy prey. They thought all it would take was pressure, gossip, a little cruelty, and you'd break like thin glass in their hands. But every time they reach for you, something shifts. A wall they cannot see, a shield they cannot name. And the more they try, the more they fail. Their confusion grows into fear. Their fear turns into silence. And silence becomes the heaviest confession of all, because nothing terrifies people more than realizing you are not alone in this. You walk with a force they can't measure, a resilience they can't calculate. It burns in your steps, it sharpens your eyes, it radiates in your calm. You're protected, and they know it. They may not admit it, but they know. Wow. Look at them choke on their own disbelief. Look at them scramble for excuses, blaming everything except the truth staring back at them. They call it luck. They call it chance. They call it coincidence. Anything to avoid admitting the one thing they secretly fear, that you've been guarded all along, and that shakes their world. See, they live in a system where power is bought, where protection is borrowed, where safety is earned through bribes, alliances, and begging. But you are a different story. Your protection doesn't come with a price tag. It doesn't bend under pressure. It doesn't vanish when the crowd disappears. It lingers. It stays. It's real. That is why they're shocked. Not just shocked, offended. How dare you walk untouchable when they've sold pieces of themselves for crumbs of security? How dare you stand fearless when they've trembled their whole lives? How dare you survive attacks that should have destroyed you? Yeah, that's the word dare. Your very existence is a dare thrown at their weakness. Every breath you take is proof of a fortress they cannot storm. And the longer you remain standing, the more questions burn inside their minds. What shields you? What carries you? What makes you so untouchable? And here's the part that makes them lose sleep at night. Even if you told them, they wouldn't understand. Protection isn't always visible. It doesn't announce itself with flashing lights. Sometimes it looks like instinct. Sometimes it feels like timing. Sometimes it's just the way the universe rearranges itself, like it knows you're not meant to fall here. Not now. Not like this. They don't see the discipline it took. They don't see the nights you chose patience over rage. They don't see the sacrifices you made that cleaned the path before you even walked it. They don't see how sharp your awareness has become, how you move before danger even realizes it's been spotted. And so they keep guessing, 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 until the guessing becomes an obsession. All the questions will only multiply from here, because the truth they can't swallow is this: your protection is not an accident, and accidents don't repeat themselves with such precision. But if it isn't an accident, then what is it? Patterns don't lie. They whisper the truth louder than screams ever could. If it isn't an accident, then what is it? Let me tell you. It's intention, precision, a plan etched into the very fibers of your existence. Every failure you dodged, every betrayal that bounced back on the betrayer, every blade aimed at you that somehow missed its mark, none of it was random. Oh, they want so badly to believe it was random. Because if it was random, then they could dismiss it. They could shrug and say just chance, just luck. But patterns don't repeat by accident. Survival doesn't echo like a rhythm unless something deeper is moving it. And that's what terrifies them. They can't explain why you move when you move, why you stop when you stop, why you never walk straight into the jaws they set for you. It's like you already know, like you've already seen the ending, and you're simply walking them into their own trap. Wow. Imagine their frustration, watching every scheme crumble. Imagine their rage, realizing you don't panic the way they do. You don't claw for scraps the way they do. You don't crumble under isolation the way they do. Instead, you wait, you calculate, you endure, you let storms pass. And when the dust clears, there you are, still standing, untouched. That's when the questions sharpen. They start asking, not with curiosity, but with trembling in their voices. How does he keep surviving? How does she never fall? They dissect your movements, your habits, your silences. They watch you closer than they watch themselves. Yeah, and that's where they lose. Because while they're busy staring at you, trying to figure out the shield that covers you, they stop seeing the cracks forming inside themselves. They forget that jealousy is a poison that eats inward first. By obsessing over your protection, they blind themselves to their own downfall. But you? Nah. You don't waste time obsessing over them. You know the truth. Protection isn't about never being touched. It's about never being broken. It's about bending without snapping, bleeding without surrendering, falling without staying down. That's the secret they will never understand. The shield doesn't remove the battle. It ensures the battle doesn't remove you. And still, they demand answers. Who guards you? Who stands with you? Where does this invisible armor come from? They search for physical explanations because their minds are too shallow to comprehend the unseen. They think protection must be a bodyguard, a favor owed, a deal struck in shadows. They're so limited. They cannot grasp that protection lives within choices, discipline, awareness, and unseen mercy that favors the steadfast. Oh, it crushes them. Because deep down, they know your protection is earned in places they cannot reach. It's written in sacrifices they refuse to make. It's carved into discipline they ran from. It's stitched together by scars they never allowed themselves to wear. That's why the shield belongs to you and not to them. And that shield isn't leaving. That shield isn't borrowed. That shield is permanent. But here's where it gets darker. Their questions don't end with how you're protected. No. The deeper question is crawling inside their skulls, even now, scratching at the walls of their sanity. Protected for what? Because if you're this guarded, then something must be waiting for you on the other side of all this. Something too heavy, too sharp, too dangerous for anyone but you. And what exactly is it that you're being prepared for? Preparation is never gentle. It sharpens you like a blade dragged across stone. So what exactly are you being prepared for? That's the question burning in every corner. It's not enough for them to see you protected. They need to know why. Why you? Why so relentless? Why does the storm spare you only to return stronger, as if the world is training you, not testing you? Oh, they can't wrap their heads around it. They think life is about comfort, about easy victories, about finding the shortest path to the finish line. They don't understand that your path isn't designed to be easy. It's designed to carve you into something unbreakable. Every shield placed around you isn't there to hide you from the fight. It's there to make sure you survive long enough to meet it. And that's the part they fear most. Because if you are being prepared, then that means something waits ahead that would destroy them instantly. Something too heavy for fragile hands, too sharp for shallow hearts, too vast for weak spirits. It means your survival isn't random, it's purposeful. Wow. Can you imagine how that thought corrodes them? To realize that every time they wished for your fall, they were actually watching you get stronger. Every moment they thought was your ending was just another layer of armor being added. Every attack they launched only revealed how impossible it is to break someone who's being prepared for battles far beyond the reach of small people. And here's the ugly truth. They know it's coming. They don't know what, they don't know when, but they feel it. They feel it in the weight of your presence, in the silence of your patience, in the steadiness of your gaze. You move like someone who knows the war hasn't even started yet. Yeah, and that's what haunts them, because they already lost to you without realizing it. If you're this powerful while only preparing, then what happens when the real moment arrives? Nah, they don't want that answer. They'd rather bury themselves in denial. They'd rather call you strange, lucky, misunderstood. Anything to silence the suspicion that eats at them every time they see you walk away untouched. Because if you're untouchable now in the season of preparation, then in the season of execution you will be unstoppable. Oh, and doesn't that truth burn? That all their questions are not really about your protection, but about their own vulnerability. They don't ask because they want to understand you. They ask because they're terrified of what your existence says about them. That they were never chosen for anything heavy. That they were never strong enough to be sharpened. That the world didn't see them as worthy of such battles or such victories. And here lies the paradox. They resent your shield, yet they fear the day it's removed. Because that day, they will see the reason behind it. The weight you were being saved for. The task no one else could carry. So the whispers will keep growing. The questions will keep spreading. And the fear will keep multiplying. But I'll tell you something. They don't want to admit out loud. The real terror isn't what you're being prepared for. It's who you'll become once the preparation is complete. Becoming is the cruelest process. It strips, it breaks, it forges. And when it's done, nothing of the old remains. That's the part that shatters them. Not the shield, not the protection, but the transformation that waits behind it. You are not being spared so you can stay the same. You are being sharpened into something entirely different. Something that makes their ordinary lives look even smaller in comparison. Oh, they can't stand it. They wanted you predictable, familiar, easy to read. They wanted you trapped in the image they built of you, the version they could mock, dismiss, control. But that version is gone. Piece by piece, the old has been burned away, and in its place rises someone they cannot categorize, someone they cannot diminish. And here's what really unsettles them. Transformation is not loud. It doesn't announce itself with trumpets. It happens in silence, in the dark corners of endurance, in the long nights where no one clapped for your struggle. By the time they notice, it's too late. You've already changed. Wow. Think about how horrifying that is for them, realizing they spent all their time plotting against a version of you that doesn't even exist anymore. They built strategies for the weak you, only to discover that weakness was a shadow you shed long ago. Now they're left facing a version of you they cannot predict. And that makes you untouchable. Because becoming isn't just survival, it's evolution. It's walking through fire and stepping out with skin that no longer burns. It's staring down storms until storms themselves grow tired. It's learning to turn pain into precision, loss into focus, silence into power. Yeah, and the cruel joke is this. Every attempt they made to destroy you only fueled your transformation. Every stone thrown at you became part of the fortress you now stand in. Every scar became proof that you don't just endure, you become. Nah, they don't want to face that. They'd rather pretend you're the same as before, because if they admit you've changed, then they must admit they've been left behind. They must admit that while you were turning pain into strength, they were turning comfort into weakness. And so their questions shift again. No longer just how is he protected? No longer just what is she being prepared for? Now the question becomes, what will this new version of you do once unleashed? Oh, that's the nightmare, isn't it? The version of you forged through battles they couldn't survive. The version of you unbothered by their whispers, untouched by their traps, unmoved by their envy. The version of you who carries not just protection but purpose. Because once you become this, there's no going back, no undoing the strength, no erasing the awareness, no silencing the fire. The you that stands now is permanent, final, unstoppable. And the more they watch, the more they realize the truth. Their time is running out. Because transformation is not an endless process. It has an end point. A moment when the shield that protected you no longer needs to protect, because the blade you've become is sharper than anything thrown against you. And when that moment comes, when the becoming is complete, the question won't be who protected you anymore. The question will be who can protect them from you. Protection is a shield, but transformation? Transformation turns the shield into a weapon. And here's the revelation they never wanted to face. The protection was never about making you safe. It was about making you ready. Because once the preparation ends, once the becoming is sealed, the balance flips. You're no longer the one who needs protection. They are. Oh, can you feel the shift? The same silence they once laughed at now makes them choke. The same calm they once mocked now crushes their voices. The same patience they thought was weakness now presses down like a mountain they cannot lift. Everything has reversed. You were the hunted. Now you are the storm. Wow, look at them scatter in their confusion. They thought they had all the questions. Who guards you? Who stands for you? What shields you? But now it's their eyes that tremble, because the answers don't matter anymore. What matters is that their time of safety is over. And that's what makes this story brutal. You didn't ask for revenge. You didn't demand power. You simply endured. And endurance turned you into something they can't survive. The shield that once blocked the arrows is now the edge of a sword pressed against their fragile illusions. Yeah, this is the irony that burns them alive. The very force they mocked you for having now becomes the force they must fear. They thought protection made you soft. They thought it meant you couldn't fight. They thought you were hiding, but no. Nah, you weren't hiding. You were waiting. Waiting for the right season. Waiting for the day the shield would no longer be necessary. And that day has come. Oh, how it terrifies them. Because when protection evolves into power, everything changes. You are no longer an individual they can target. You become a presence, a force that bends rooms, shifts conversations, tilts the ground beneath their feet. They can't look at you the same way anymore because you are not the same. Your silence becomes pressure. Your words become commands. Your existence becomes judgment. They used to ask, why does nothing touch you? Now they ask, how do we stop what you've become? And the answer is as cruel as it is simple. They can't. Because once a shield becomes a weapon, there is no going back. Once protection hardens into power, there is no undoing it. Oh, the questions multiply in their heads. Who will defend them now? Who will block the weight you bring? Who will save them from the consequence of the very games they started? And the most frightening realization of all is this: there is no one coming. Because your protection was never about avoiding battles. It was about ensuring you'd be strong enough to fight the battles alone when the time arrived. And now it has. So let them whisper. Let them ask. Let them search for explanations in shadows and excuses in the air. The truth will never change. The shield has become a sword. The protected has become the danger. The hunted has become the nightmare. And here's the final piece. They cannot escape. If this is who you are now, what will you be when you decide to unleash it fully? And now, look at them, trembling in silence. Oh, they asked their questions, but no answer could save them. They searched for cracks, but found only walls? They wanted your downfall. Nah, you became their nightmare. Wow. Their shock turned to fear, their fear into chaos. But you just kept walking. Stronger, sharper, untouchable. They can't decide what scares them more. Oh, the shield that guarded you, or the weapon you've become? So let them keep asking, keep doubting, keep breaking. Wow. Because the truth will choke them forever. Yeah. You were never just protected, you were being prepared. Oh, and now nothing. Not whispers, not schemes, not shadows can stop you. You won't believe this. Yeah. A group of billionaires just made a move. And guess what? It's about you right now. They sat in their towers thinking they control everything. Nah, they decided your limits, your value, your next step. Wow. But here's the thing. They don't know what you're made of. Oh yeah, they're grinding, fighting, surviving. And this speech, it's for you. Only for you. Are you ready to hear the truth they never wanted? To feel the fire that rises when they doubt you? To laugh at their arrogance, their charts, their contracts? Nah, every word they whispered, every plan they made is weak. Welcome to our channel, Darkness Throne. And by the end of this video, you will rise. So stay locked, stay focused, comment your thoughts. Let's go. This is your moment. Yes, you, the one watching. Yes, I see you. Respect your grind. Salute your patience. Yeah, they think they hold the strings, but the strings are laughing. Do you feel it? That invisible weight pressing on your chest? The kind of weight money thinks it can buy? Yeah, it's heavy. Oh, they made a decision? A group of billionaires sitting in their towers with leather chairs and cold coffee decided something about you. And not just any something. They decided your value, your limits, your place in the game of life. And here's the thing, they smiled when they made it. They leaned back and whispered among themselves, thinking, this one they will break. Nah, they do not know the truth. Not yet. Look at it clearly. They see numbers, charts, graphs. They see who they think you are, but they do not see who you can become. They do not see the patience that can turn every setback into a step forward. They do not feel the fire that burns quietly in the chest of someone who refuses to bend to shortcuts, who refuses to bow to arrogance, who refuses to measure success by someone else's scale. They believe their towers protect them. They believe their money shields them. But life is not their ledger. Life is a test, and tests are meant to reveal the strong, the wise, the patient, the ones who rise when the world whispers stop and shouts impossible. Think about it. Every decision they made about you, they made with fear disguised as control. They think control is power, but power, true power, is knowing the difference between what can be taken and what cannot. They think fear can guide you. Nah, fear is a teacher, not a master. Fear is a mirror. It shows you what matters, what endures, what is real. And when you stare into it without blinking, when you walk through it without bending, you become the answer to every expectation they ever set against you. They think they understand you. They think they can limit you. But they cannot. They never could. Oh, the audacity of it all. The calm in their rooms, the gentle hum of their machines, the quiet certainty in their eyes. And yet, in that calm, in that certainty, they have made a mistake. A colossal mistake. They measured you with the wrong ruler. They judged you by the wrong standards. And the world, which they think belongs to them, laughs quietly at their error. It laughs in the spaces between your steps, in the silence before your voice rises, in the moments when patience becomes courage, courage becomes action, and action becomes change. Yes, change that they will never see coming. And here's the thing. Here's the real truth that will echo long after their meetings end. They may have made a decision about you. They may have tried to define your path, but that path, oh wow, it bends wherever you allow it. That path is yours. Every choice, every breath, every quiet victory they cannot calculate, cannot predict, cannot control, is a step beyond their grasp. And it begins now, with one thought, one understanding, one refusal to be bound by their chains of assumption. Every cage is just another stage. Oh, you thought it was over. Nah, that laugh you felt in the last room, that tremor in their voice when they decided your fate, it was a signal, a test, a trap. Yes, a trap. And traps are clever, smooth, invisible, wrapped in velvet and gold, disguised as opportunity. They want you to believe you are seen, known and measured. But no one measures the strength that comes from patience. The real question is, will you fall into the trap, or will you watch it slowly unravel under your gaze? Think carefully. Every choice they made about you was designed to pull, to push, to contain, to frighten. They set up a stage, and they want you to dance to their tune. But here's the thing. Stages are not prisons unless you let them be. Every chain has a weak link. Every lock has a key. And every decision they impose carries the weight of their underestimation. Oh wow, they believe in control, but control is a shadow. Shadows can be stepped around or walked through, and in that step, you decide. You decide what matters. You decide what moves. You decide what is real. Yeah, it's tempting, isn't it? To see the gold, the contracts, the influence, and think maybe they know better. Maybe they are right. Nah, don't give them that power. They never earned it. They never understood that the human spirit bends but does not break. That when the world whispers give up, the patient respond with persistence. That when the strong oppress, the wise plan. That when the world measures by wealth and status, true worth is measured by resilience, courage, and action, guided by clarity, not by impulse. And here's the cruel brilliance of their trap. It hides in plain sight. Smooth floors, polite words, calculated nods. They think the path is theirs to dictate. They think the silence in the room is compliance. But silence can be louder than shouts. Silence can gather energy. Silence can prepare. And the moment you step forward, the moment you take the first careful, deliberate, quiet step, the trap cracks. Oh yes, cracks appear where they least expect. And those cracks, they widen. Slowly, surely, without mercy. This is the paradox they cannot see. The very decision meant to bind you is the opportunity to break free, to rise beyond the calculation, to turn expectation into surprise, to turn fear into strength. Every meeting, every word, every flick of the pen designed to limit you can be turned into proof of your endurance, proof of your focus, proof of your resolve. And when they notice, when the realization hits, it will be too late. They will see the result, the change, the strength that was never theirs to touch. And now, here's the hook. Here's the truth, waiting in the shadows. They may have set the trap, but traps are only powerful if you step inside. Will you, or will you bend the trap into your path, using their arrogance against them? Look into the glass. Do you see their fear, or yours? Oh, you stared, didn't you, into the mirror of their expectations. And what did you see? A shadow? A number? A version of yourself shaped by the judgment of others? Nah, that's not you. Not really. The mirror lies. It shows the reflection they want to see, the reflection that keeps you small, quiet, predictable. Yeah, predictable. But the truth, the real truth, is found not in their judgment, but in your response. In the quiet defiance, in the way you lift your head when the world whispers, "Stay down." Every word they spoke about you, every decision, every calculation was meant to cage you. But cages are fragile when the mind is awake. When patience meets strategy, when focus meets courage, when clarity meets action, the cage is no longer a cage. It's a stage. And you are the actor and the director. Oh wow, they think they wrote the story. They think they set the scene. But the pen is in your hand, and each word you write bends the scene toward truth, strength, and vision that cannot be bought. Yeah, it's scary. Don't deny it. The pressure, the expectation, the quiet judgment of people who never even saw your journey. It presses against you. But fear is not weakness. Fear is a signal, a teacher, a call to prepare, to plan, to step with awareness and purpose. And when you act through fear, when you let it guide rather than bind, it becomes fuel. Fuel for every careful move, every decision made with clarity, every moment of patience that builds into power beyond their understanding. And here's the brutal reality. They do not know the depth of your strength. They see your surface. They measure it. They try to contain it. But the strength that grows quietly, patiently, in the hours they overlook, oh yes, that is the kind of strength that cannot be charted on a ledger, that cannot be weighed in coins or contracts, that cannot be predicted. And when that strength moves, when it acts, when it asserts itself, it changes everything. Not with anger, not with spite, but with clarity, focus, and the unwavering belief that your worth is defined by your actions, not their assumptions. Oh, the irony. The very force they tried to limit, the very spark they tried to measure, is now rising in silence, like a tide, like a storm building in the quiet. And the first time they notice, the first time their calculations fail, it will not be gentle. It will not be small. It will be undeniable. They will see what they could not predict, what they could not control. And in that moment, your reflection in the mirror will no longer be a question. It will be an answer. And now, here's the truth. Waiting at the edge of this reflection, the mirror only shows what you allow it to. The chains only bind if you hold them. The trap only works if you step inside. So, will you let them define you? Or will you bend the trap, shatter the reflection, and step forward on your own path? Power is a joke, and they are the punchline. Oh, they think they are clever, don't they? Sitting in rooms with glass walls, shaking hands, nodding at charts, calculating your worth as if life is a ledger. Yeah, they believe every move is theirs to control, every outcome theirs to dictate. Nah, life does not answer to spreadsheets. Life listens to the quiet, the steady, the patient. And you are not a piece on their board. You are the player rewriting the rules as you move. Look closely. Every contract, every deal, every word they spoke, it was meant to trap you, to make you follow a path carved by their assumptions. But here's the brutal truth. Games only exist if you play by their rules. And you see the rules for what they are. Suggestions, not law. Oh wow, the moment you understand this, the moment you step off the square they marked for you, the game shifts. The pieces move differently. The board tilts under the weight of your awareness. Yeah, it's risky. Don't pretend it isn't. The quiet whispers in the corridors, the cold stares in meetings, the anticipation of their calculation, it presses against you. But risk is not a chain. Risk is a choice. It is the opportunity to act when others hesitate. It is the space where courage grows, where focus sharpens, where patience turns into power. And when you take that step, when you act deliberately, thoughtfully, the very structure they relied on begins to crumble, slowly, silently, surely. And oh, the irony is delicious. They tried to confine you with gold, with influence, with fear disguised as authority. But the very things they used as tools become mirrors reflecting their weakness, not yours. Their calm hides desperation. Their certainty hides doubt. Their words hide the cracks in the empire they believe is stable. And you are the storm gathering quietly, not out of anger, but out of clarity, patience, and the refusal to be contained by assumptions. The brilliance of this moment, the edge of this game, is simple. They cannot predict what they do not understand. They cannot measure the strength built in silence, in patience, in action guided by awareness. And when the first move is made, when the first quiet victory arrives, it will not be subtle. It will not be small. It will echo. Oh yes, it will echo in every room, in every expectation, in every plan they laid against you. And in that echo, you will see it clearly. The game was never theirs to win. And now, here's the hook. They could never anticipate. They set the rules. They built the traps. They calculated your place. But the real power, the real movement, lives in the choice to act beyond expectation. Will you wait for their approval? Or will you rise through the cracks they ignored? Will you let the game continue? Or will you rewrite it entirely? They decide, you deliver, but only if you play by their rules. Who said you had to? This is it. The moment they thought was theirs, the moment they believed they controlled, it is now in your hands. Every calculation, every decision they made about you, it was meant to bind, to limit, to predict. Nah, they underestimated one thing. The quiet force that grows in patience, that strengthens in focus, that rises when the world says wait and yield. And you have chosen to move. Look around. The paths they thought were closed are wide open. The chains they assumed would hold you are fragile. Every step, every choice, every breath is a declaration. I am not confined by your assumptions. Oh, Yes, they will notice. They will watch, and they will not understand how the one they tried to limit has turned their control into fuel. Yeah, it's intoxicating. The power that comes not from wealth or status, but from clarity, discipline, and action guided by principle. It cannot be taken, it cannot be sold, it cannot be measured. Every trap they laid, every cage they built, has become a bridge. Every expectation they placed upon you has become a ladder. And with every deliberate step, every quiet moment of focus, every act of patience, that bridge rises, that ladder grows. You are moving in a rhythm they cannot predict. Oh, wow. And the first time they see it, the first moment they realize the game has changed, it will be undeniable. The walls they built, the rules they enforced, all of it bending under the weight of your resolve. Yeah, it is not easy. The fear, the doubt, the pressure, it is real. But fear is a teacher. Doubt is a guide. Pressure is a test. And when you walk through them with purpose, with patience, with clarity, you become proof of something they could never understand. Nah, they do not see it yet. They never did. And in the silence of their misunderstanding, your power grows quietly, steadily, relentlessly. And here is the final truth. The decision they made about you was never the end. It was a challenge, a mirror, a spark. And the rise that follows, the rise born of patience, focus, clarity, and deliberate action, it is a force they will witness but never control. Oh yes. The world is wide, the path is yours, and every moment is an opportunity to step further than they imagined. Every step forward is a statement. I am not defined by your numbers, your charts, your assumptions. I am defined by my choices, my discipline, my courage, my clarity. And now, here is the hook they cannot predict. The ending that is only a beginning. They thought they decided your place. They thought they wrote your story. But the truth is, the story was always yours to write. And now, oh wow, you've seen it all. Every move they made, every decision about you. Yeah, but here's the truth. You are stronger, smarter, sharper. Nah, they thought they could limit you, control you, hold you. But look at you standing tall, rising, thriving. Oh yes, this is your moment. Your power, your story. Yeah, every choice, every action, every breath you take counts. Wow. They may try to understand, they may try to predict. Nah, but they will never see your spirit, your focus, your fire. So drop a comment. Let me see your energy. Share this video. Light the spark in someone else, because this monologue, this truth, it's for you. Yes, I respect your grind. I salute your patience. Yeah. Remember, the game is theirs, but the rise is yours. Wow. Keep moving forward. Keep proving them wrong. Oh, yes. And never forget, you are the one writing the story now. Nah, so take it, own it, live it, and let them watch.